Hope not. Hmm. It might be me. Hello, people. Oh, there we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to CosmoQuest's Hangout-a-Thon 2023. It is constant that we will have at least one moment of not having our audio on camera. For those who can't read, it says, "Sorry, I was on mute." Uh, over the next 32 hours, we're going to be bringing you science, scientists, guests, games, and more. And joining me right now is a selection of the people, the ones who happen to be available, that are going to be making everything this weekend and everything we do at CosmoQuest possible. I'd like to start by introducing the folks that are joining us remotely who we wish could be here, but airplane flights are expensive. So I'm going to start with you, Aviva. Thank you so much for getting up at 5 a.m. to join us for a 6 a.m. call. Coming to us from Bandung, Indonesia, is the director of our 365 Days of Astronomy podcast. Welcome. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Here it's morning, so good evening, you all. Good evening, good afternoon, or maybe more people who live in a different part of the world. But I'm Aviva Yamani. I'm the project director of 365 Days of Astronomy, and we bring you daily podcasts to your home, to your gadget. So if you want to join, just contact me.
That is awesome. So the 365 Days of Astronomy podcast started back in 2009 as part of the International Year of Astronomy. And at one point in 2012, Aviva and I were getting breakfast and had this moment of, actually, it was probably 2011, we were having breakfast and we were in Beijing, and I needed a new podcast director, and she needed something to do following the adventures of the International Year of Astronomy. And she's been one of my right-hand women ever since. So,
Yeah, it's
many
been more than
years.
a decade.
Yeah.
More than a
It's been
decade.
amazing. So, the next person I'm going to turn to is Eric Mattis, our aerospace correspondent, someone who started as a Minecrafter, then became a podcaster, a volunteer, and now has become one of the podcasters and TV hosts for everything we do. Eric, it's been wild getting to know you across the years and seeing you grow up to be one of our hosts.
Yes.
Eric is a man of few words.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of Eric's words are about rockets.
Few but great words.
Sorry, I didn't edit
That's
the
fine.
script for him.
And rockets and computers.
It's true. And Minecraft and Diggy Diggy Hole with dwarves that dance.
Yes.
Also transitioning from being a volunteer to now being part of our staff, the author of Rocketbot, one of the people who's helping me resurrect CosmoQuest Citizen Science projects, going by his online username. We have the real fake admin.
Hello.
So I have to say thank you to Fenmill for the sub, and thank you to everyone who's out there. It is dark outside and our neighbors are mowing the lawn. I'm very confused by what's going on, as are my dogs. Apologies, there will be dogs on stream this weekend. So we are not only joined by the people on Zoom, we also have some amazing people here face to face, including Annie Wilson, who I think is now the person who's been part of the project the longest of everyone who's still part of it.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Say
Yeah.
more.
I don't really have anything. It's just, yeah, that was just a moment of, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have been here a minute.
You just made Annie face her own mortality.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks for that.
So
Thanks,
Annie
thanks.
actually started working with the project since day zero. She was already part of our collaboration before we even launched CosmoQuest. So I guess she's been part since negative like a year and a half.
Yeah, because Cosmic Castaways came out before
CosmoQuest.
CosmoQuest. Because when I was mailing out Cosmic Castaway stuff, I was stuffing the envelopes with CosmoQuest bits.
Yeah, yeah. So she then has been there since day zero, was the person who originated our rocket coverage, still maintains the count of how many toilets are in space. You do. I've seen you tweet it.
I couldn't tell you how many are there now.
Okay, that's sad.
It
We'll
might
get an
be
update
9
later.
or 10. I'll look later. It's 9 or 10.
The fact that it changes so much is a good problem to have.
Yes, it really is
Yeah.
a good problem to have. And now, like, when I ask random people, hey, how many space toilets do you think we have? And they're always like 2. I'm like, no, there's a minimum of 5. And that wasn't the case.
How many are in transit between low Earth orbit and the ground at any given time?
Yeah.
Usually just 1. Usually
But not
just 1.
always.
Do we really have people going down the same time we have people going up?
No.
But there's been like the weird stuff with the like, we're not even keeping track of the
We're
tourist
not-
flights anymore.
No.
We've
Do they
given
even
up.
have
They don't have.
They have
You don't need a
They're-
toilet for
they're-
15 minutes in the upper
they're-
atmosphere.
But no,
Anyways.
no, the tourist flights that go. No, okay.
We're getting
Sidetracked by.
Anyways.
So, in addition to Annie also joining me here on camera, I have Noel and Gordon, who both came to CosmoQuest by way of Astronomy Cast. This is actually their second time in my house. They were here last time for Astronomy Cast 500. We have the memorial glass thing unilluminated behind us. Noel has done a variety of artwork for our projects, including the opening for Astronomy Cast, which is really, really good. Ruben, thank you. Thank you for gifting the sub. And Gordon was there for the weekly space hangout, for Astronomy Cast. Yes, you both were. So I'm just gonna let you two talk instead of failing to introduce you.
Hi, I'm Noel. I show up as Hexacosacoron on Twitch. Yeah, I was just a space nerd that found my way found my way into the community by way of Bad Astronomer and then the Weekly Space Hangout, and managed to sort of. I just dropped a few graphics here and there, and now I am friends with people.
and that is how it happens around here. It is true.
Yep, and so I'm Gordon, Keeper of Maps for those who are in the Discord or Twitch worlds or most of the other social medias. I found this, as you said, through Astronomy Cast and the Weekly Spacing Out crew. And I was one of the co-conspirators of the AC 500. And I've also I got more involved with CosmoQuest, and I do a lot of server wrangling behind the scenes.
Yes.
And I do launch watch parties. I started helping Annie at the beginning of the pandemic, and then we just carried on doing that, and now we try and do launch watch parties when we can. And yeah, and I'm part of the EVSN writing team.
Yeah. So
Careful if
hidden-
the moral of the story is careful if you volunteer.
Yes.
You might get sucked in.
It's
Yes.
true, but I do pay
This is true.
whenever I can, and that is the key to this event. I like to pay the humans. Allie, we still have one more human to introduce, though.
I'm back here.
Can you
Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
do not fall out of the chair?
Why I don't like to hear my name followed by oh dear.
Well, that's because we heard something roll in a way that
Oh,
sounded awkward.
I'm fine. I mean, I have fallen out of my chair before on live stream. Some of you may remember that. Hi.
Who's flying the ship now?
It's
we
on
don't
autopilot.
talk about that. No touch anything. Nobody breathe wrong.
My Thrawn action figure is flying.
There are so many things here that say no touchy.
So
I have put post-its on everything I don't want people to touch, and they literally say no touchy.
It's glorious. I love it. That was one of the first things I saw when I came in the studio. It's like I see Allie, and then I see the monitor covered in sticky notes that says no touchy, and I'm like, I know what I'm not doing. Not touching that.
Yeah.
So Ali, as well as Beth Johnson, who is not here, and Richard Drum, who we think we got lost on his way to Zoom.
Yeah, he got lost.
We miss you, Rich.
We don't know where you are, Rich.
Yeah. We're waiting.
It's the link that ends in odd.
I bet he's in the one
So
for even.
if you're in the one that says even, go to the one that says odd.
No,
He claims he is in the one that says odd.
We
It's fine.
will, Rich and Beth will be with us later in this event.
Yes. So, we work really hard to pay everyone here at CosmoQuest a fair wage. It's not always a competitive wage. It's not at all what folks would earn in a commercial world. We are a not-for-profit
But the
project.
trade-off is we get to do something really cool.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, okay, I could go make more at a corporation, but I wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And this is a lot more fun.
it is.
This is true.
It is. Exactly.
And we give everything we can away for free. So, Escape Velocity Space News and in the past Daily Space were both going out on Now Media Television. And because we're under a Creative Commons license, we're a TV show that gets zero money. Which,
Except the money you give us.
yeah, so during the next 32 hours, we're going to do absolutely everything we can to bring you science and joy in all possible different ways. And we're hoping that if you're able, please do not give if you're able. We are.
Please don't give if you're unable.
That's what I meant to say. I'm
Please,
sorry.
If you are able, please give.
Yes. If you shouldn't, if you're, please feed yourselves first. Wear your own mask and then put a mask on others. We understand the economy is not kind of great right now. We've seen our Patreon go down 30 to 40% over the past 4 months.
Yep.
And so we're here for the second time this year trying to raise funds so that we can keep giving things away. Everything we produce, it can be used in your star parties. Everything we produce, it can be used in your classrooms. There's no copyright. Just attribute us. It's Creative Commons. And so we just want to bring science to everyone. And this is something that you do in multiple languages, Aviva. Can you talk about the importance of there being free content?
What?
Can you talk
The last
about
part of
the importance of free content?
I'm gonna
Oh,
switch
okay.
back to my
So
Yeah.
the importance of free content, we provide everything for you, and then, like Pamela said, you can use it on your class and on everywhere. And the one that in 365 Days of Astronomy, we know that our listeners come from many countries, and we have report that listeners, they download our podcast and then put it on CD, going to rural area, and then they use um, that podcast for and then they leave the CD school so they can learn. So I think pretty much really good project, and by Pamela, and also some of the podcaster, they also put they provide the transcript, and then the transcript being translated to many language as well, and then being provided for students. So
We have
please.
one more person joining us. Sorry for the rearranging.
Keep going.
You're doing good. Keep talking.
Okay. So basically, we hope that the not well, okay, we're fundraising right now, but also I hope that many of you will also join us as podcaster as well, because the content going everywhere in the world, not only in US, not only in some part of the world, but it literally going to all the world, all the place in the world, not only in the big city, but also to the remote area as well. And I, and me myself, I'm in Indonesia. I usually use the podcast in 365 Days of Astronomy, so that I can also, I use it for my work here to teach the students. And then we have a sections, a folklore sections, and this is the story from many cultures about celestial objects. And I usually use this one. Well, I'm not. I have no report from others if they use these folklore stories for their activities in their locations. But for me, I usually use this folklore as the introductions for my teaching in in the schools or for my public outreach event. So yeah, free content is really, it's really a great idea, because we can use it, we can inspire more people, we can bring more people to join astronomy. We hope that by doing this, we can have more and more people inspired to pursue astronomy in the future, or at least science in general, or technology.
And one of the really amazing things that's happened with 365 Days of Astronomy is this is a show that has a fairly large audience for podcasts. A lot of podcasts are only around a few hundred people subscribed, and it fluctuates, but it's always somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000.
Yeah.
And the astronomy community isn't all that huge, and that's a really good segment of the astronomy audience. And we have people who are just starting brand new podcasts who come in, and they're like, can you add our shows to who you're sending out? And so we've seen shows like Paul Matt Sutter's shows start out on 365 Days of Astronomy and then grow into something that is now really core to his career. So we're allowing new science communicators to grow and do new and amazing things.
Pamela, can I add something?
Yes,
So
please.
our podcaster is not only the science communicator or the astronomers. We have students.
Yes.
So we have students, high school students from India, from Ethiopia, provide a podcast for us too. And also we have in the past we have junior high school and also the elementary school students that occasionally they submit podcasts for us. So it's not only someone with astronomy background or science communicator, but it can be anyone.
So we've been joined by yet another human. People are filtering in as they finish their day jobs. Annie's coming back.
There's no non-awkward way to do this.
No, there really isn't. So joining us is Ms. Britt Kitten herself, another one of our volunteers that really keeps things sane and going around here.
As long as I can keep myself sane.
Well, fair. Kitten came to us by way of Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, and then to Astronomy Cast, and then to CosmoQuest, and then we just adopted her and she moved local, for which we are grateful.
It's a lot cheaper here.
It is a lot cheaper here.
So you want to introduce yourself? I'm going to close the door because we have a sad dog in the background.
We do have sad dogs in the background.
Okay.
Here, bud.
The driver's getting it.
That door right there.
I'm Tanya. I'm an artist. My day job is quality engineering. I have a mechanical engineering background. I'm also known as Miss Brick Kitten because I do all of the Lego when it's up. When we do these things, if we're having a Lego component, that's mostly me. I like robotics. I've worked with the First Lego League on helping teach kids mechanical aspects of robotics. I don't try to teach them the programming because the programming is hard. I leave that to the people who are experts at programming. I just tell them if that gear ratio is going to work. Other than that, my day job's been eating a lot of time out of me lately, so not as active in the community as I'd like to be, but yeah. I'm here for this weekend. Gonna get my Minecraft on. I'll probably at least hosting at least one panel, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at the schedule yet.
I think you're on 2 panels,
Maybe
hosting
2.
1.
Okay. And that's about the long and short of it.
So the thing that she left out is all of us really struggled during the pandemic. If you say you didn't struggle during the pandemic, you're lying to yourself. I still like you, but you were lying to yourself. And during the pandemic, a lot of us who just wanted to find community where we could at least pretend to be face to face ended up getting together in a Minecraft server that Kitten set up, Kittytopia. And Noel was our great train builder along with Eric. Gordon just built all sorts of randomness that was awesome.
And blew up small chunks of the server.
Yeah, he's actually, I think, most famous for his use of TNT.
Yeah.
Admin was there helping us do redstone stuff in the nether. We built a lot.
And I filled it with chickens.
And
Yep.
she filled it
Yes.
with chicken.
And
Kergel filled it with potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Eric, how many
Potatoes.
potatoes did you build?
Like a 250,000.
And baked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 250,000 Minecraft potatoes.
Yes.
In a deep hole that went all the way down to
Many
bedrock
jacket
after I
potatoes in the-
made all of
in-
them.
In the Minecraft world.
Yeah, it was. There were a lot of potatoes.
And then I found a new obsession.
Which was
Deep Rock Galactic.
oh, you're
And then I
Yeah.
spent
Right.
Okay.
1,200 hours on that.
and we played Ticket to Ride.
And a lot of
Yeah, we do.
Ride.
Yeah, so our community grew in a lot of ways during the pandemic. And this weekend, we want all of you to join us in these different things that we have created as we invite all of you to become part of our constantly growing community. We have a very special build going on this weekend. We are building Moon Base 2. There's been lots of
Moon
sci-fi.
base?
Moon base.
Not moon. I lied.
That is
Mars
not the
base.
base.
Mars
It is
Base
very,
2.
very red.
I screwed up.
It has
I screwed
sediments.
up.
It
It
does.
does have sediments.
It does.
Hi. I sometimes say things that begin with the right first letter and everything else is wrong.
You're not even sleep deprived yet.
I know. I
Yet.
know. All right. Continuing
Be a fun
on
hat.
with the correct words this time. We invite you to join us on building Mars Base 2. In a couple of hours, we're going to be joined by Thelina, whose last name I have heard pronounced many times and have never been able to replicate. Aviva, can you say her last name?
It's Stilina.
But how do you say
It's
his
Stilina
last name?
Henatigala.
That last
Henatigala.
name. Thank you.
Heratigala?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is someone else that we know through the International Year of Astronomy, and even before that, as someone who has basically dedicated his life since he was a high schooler to getting astronomy to the masses everywhere. Coming to us originally from Sri Lanka, now in Japan, he works hard to communicate the importance of decolonizing space science. And we're going to have two different panels this weekend talking about what that means. And the one tonight is focused on how do we go and create bases, research stations on other worlds without
Bringing along the baggage.
bringing along the baggage. And I'm going to let him share his expertise. What we have in Minecraft, which you're welcome to go join, there should be, if you type !Minecraft in the chat. I know it works on Twitch. I have no idea if it works on YouTube or not. I may need to log YouTube back in. Come on, work. Are you going to work?
We'll fix it later.
We will fix it later. All right. We now have Richard. Good. So there's a link at CosmoQuest.org. Fill out the form, and one of the good folks will whitelist you for our server, and you can help us build. Our arrival rocket is sitting at spawn. There are supplies, and the world is ours to imagine as we will. In addition to the Minecraft, we have the chats going on, and my bot might be sleeping. It's true. It's true. So go check that out, and I hope that you'll join and consider building while you watch. Please don't stop watching. We love having you out there as part of our audience. Now, finally having made it, we have Richard Drum, the astronomy bomb. Is your mic working, Richard?
Yes, true that. Yeah, I have no idea how I managed to get in. I tried 15 different things. The 15th one worked. Go figure.
So Richard has been part of our community, I think, really since day zero. I think the first time we met was potentially at Dragon Con. And he was introduced to us by Noisy Astronomer from
Yes.
down in Virginia. And she is off being an amazing professor in New Hampshire. But Rich stayed around, and he is the audio engineer of Astronomy Cast and 365 Days of Astronomy, and has done various video work for us over the years.
Yep. Yeah, and I've been doing 365. You can't quite see it, but I've got my T-shirt on, flying the flag, since 2013, I think. A little over 10 years. Yeah, I've got a very janky rig holding my computer up high enough. But and Astronomy Cast now for a year and a half.
Yep.
Something, I think. Something like that.
So the other thing in addition to Minecraft that we kind of love to do perhaps a little bit too much for a space community and I have no clue how this started, is we play a whole lot of Ticket to Ride.
Oh, because the world broke.
Well, it's because the world broke. That is true. We have some key phrases that you're going to be introduced to over the week. The first one I'm going to refer to as Kerbling, and let Eric, who it's named after, his username is Kerbal, explain where that phrase came from.
It has multiple definitions. The first definition is getting a really low score on Ticket to Ride.
Potentially
Not on
negative.
purpose.
How low, Eric?
The lowest I've gotten was like negative 256, but that was on purpose.
It's a power of two.
It is.
The first one, the reason that the term came around was like negative 30.
Yeah. So some of the other stories is I'm not allowed to play the U.S. map generally.
No.
Annie, go ahead and explain.
You like, isn't that the one you own in like physically and
Yeah.
know the best? Yeah, like you never lose at that map.
Until the first time Kitten joined us and beat me by like 10, 20 points. And I was just like, okay, we're keeping you. You're not allowed to leave.
Competition.
Yes, because I know I can't beat Pamela at games, so I usually just am out to mess with her. Except for the demo game, where I did win, and I wasn't trying to mess with her, and still messed with her accidentally.
Yes, it's true. So we recognize that as a space community, we should probably like play more space-based games. So in the next hour, we're going to be talking about the new game that we're introducing this weekend called Ticket to Orbit. It's a parody of Ticket to Ride, therefore no copyright has been damaged. And our parody game is developed by Kitten, Noel, Annie.
I didn't develop it, I just play tested.
Okay, play tested by Annie. Our Instra, who sadly wasn't able to make it this weekend, but will be joining us over the weekend for sessions. And we're going to tell you about the insanity that went into it, introduce you to the bits and pieces, and hopefully we will have something ready to go and show you on screen. That session,
Is that Sunday?
I believe, is Sunday.
Good, because
Yes,
it's not
it's-
done yet.
It's
It is not done.
Sunday.
It is very much a work in progress.
It's Sunday at 2 p.m.
I really love that you keep forgetting that I'm back here and can check these things for you.
It's
without-
true.
It's
Well,
okay.
I had it on screen. So tonight, next session is going to be Introduction to Ticket to Orbit. Following that is going to be Thelina with Expanding to Other Worlds Without Repeating the Colonial Past. We have a musical guest tonight, Christy Cates. One of the things that we're doing this session is
Not this session, this year.
this year, today, is
Mhm.
there's a lot of people who are part of our team that you just don't get to know the way we wish you did. And Allie and Beth came up with the cool idea of doing hours where we basically introduce you to the staff. Tonight is going to be the first of those, and Allie is going to be interviewing Beth. And that is going to be followed by one of our favorite parts of Hangout-a-Thon, and that's story time, where we all get into our onesies, curl up, and listen to a good story that I will read. This year we're doing The Princess of Mars. We've even had Rich here and gotten Rich into a unicorn onesie. It was awesome.
Yep.
It was
He'd
adorable.
rather
It
wear
was
these.
adorable.
Please tell me there are pictures.
Yes.
Of course there's
There's
pictures.
pictures.
Really? You think we'd do that without taking a picture?
I apologize, Annie. You're right.
So our Insta's like, I almost beat Pamela the first time we played. Yes. So I'm looking down at the chat. It's amazing. We are going out live on both Twitch and YouTube for the first time ever tonight. This is new. We are so grateful that we delayed this. We didn't know we were going to be so grateful, but because of the delay, we found out that Twitch, they changed their rules, so we can now do this. So there will be a recording of every single session. Now, we have 4 minutes left in this session, and I'm here to tell you we are monitoring both chats. Veronica is saying, I still have a screen cap of the one time I beat Pamela. Okay, yes,
Yep.
These things happen.
I forgot to screenshot mine, I think.
Apparently this is a thing. I did not know this was a thing.
Yes.
Never see me playing Ticket to Ride.
Just don't play her on the US map and you're
And
Okay.
you might have more of a chance.
So
Maybe.
So the reason, this is Allie here, the reason why I will never play Ticket to Ride is I used to play it IRL with some friends at my local comic shop, and I got the absolute pants beaten off of me by a 6-year-old girl named Savannah. So, multiple times. So I will not play Ticket to Ride because I am still traumatized by that.
Did she play with the pink trains?
Yes. And she cackled every time she beat someone. She's honestly my hero. But I will not play Ticket to Ride.
oh,
All right. So one of the big reasons that we're here is sadly fundraising. But our Insta sent money. I need to get the bits total up as well. I forgot that was a thing. We will do that during the break. We are going to have somebody introduce us. Admin, can I ask you to drop out and then introduce everyone through Discord to our Minecraft server?
Okay.
Drop out of Zoom. We will see you in 3 minutes in Discord.
All right. I will be there.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. We're going to give you a quick tour of our Minecraft server between the sessions. We are going to rearrange who is on the screen, and I'm going to look at the fundraising totals and see if I can real fast add the total of the bits to the screen, because I have no idea what it is. All right. So, thank you, everyone. Do we have any final thoughts from the Peanut Gallery or anyone in Zoom?
Go have fun in Minecraft.
Yeah.
You can play anything from practical to completely outlandish and have fun with it.
Mars needs sheep in a dome.
And trains.
Are we on
Mars
creative
needs-
mode for that?
Potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for
Absolutely,
those of you that don't like to playing in survival, you're in creative mode.
Right. There is no needing to have to gather resources. We're going to assume we somehow managed to get all the resources we need there.
Can we put sheep in?
no.
Yes.
Maybe?
Mobs. Mobs are off.
Oh.
All mobs?
All mobs are mobs.
I might change that.
We will
Oh,
we
no.
will look into this.
The game can differentiate the hostiles from the passives.
This is very true.
We'll have to look and see what we can do.
It's just code.
It is just code.
It's just code.
All
And I have a
right.
podcast to do. Aviva, did Webb upload his materials yet?
Yes.
Good. All right, I got work to do.
All right. So this has been the first hour, well, first 45 minutes of the first hour of CosmoQuest's Hangout-a-Thon 2023 Volume 2. We are
Space
going to run the rockets and come back with
Space
a
Boogaloo?
tour of...
I'm ready to switch to the Minecraft.
Oh, we're going to
Volume
switch
two,
straight
Space
on over to
Boogaloo?
Minecraft.
We'll tell
All
you
right.
later.
So let's roll the rocket so that we can save. All right, we're
Okay.
going to blink the stream. We will be right back.